The UK has one of the biggest shipping and fishing industries in the world, and because of this, over the years there has been many accidents and shipwrecks on our shorelines. The definition of wreck is defined as anything which is found in or on the sea, or which has been washed ashore from the tidal waters. All items which are found, regardless of the age or importance, must be reported to the receiver of wreck. The main task of the receiver of wreck is to process incoming wreck in the interest of both the owner and the salvor. This involves researching ownership and liaising with the finder and the owner. One of the biggest companies in the UK for marine salvage is Titan. Titan is a British private company which owners have contracts with in case of an emergency such as needing to be towed ashore. There are three main laws which apply to shipwrecks: the Merchant Shipping Act 1995, the Protection of Wrecks Act 1973 and the Protection of Military Remains Act 1986. The Merchant Shipping Act states all wreck material which comes from the UK territorial waters and any wreck which is landed in the UK from outside the UK territorial waters must be declared to the receiver of wreck. The Protections of Wrecks Act is designed to protect wrecks which are of historic, archaeological or artistic importance. The Protection of Military Remains Act deals with the military remains of both aircraft and ships. All military aircraft are automatically designated under this legislation. The Torrey Canyon. The Torrey Canyon is widely regarded as the world's first major marine oil spill, and the UK was not prepared for a spill of this size. The incident began on the 18th of March 1967 when the ship hit the rocks on the Cornish coastline of the Isle of Sicily. The ship was carrying 120,000 tons of crude oil. There was 30,000 tons lost immediately when the crash happened, and over the next 7 days that lost around 20,000 tons. They then had a failed attempt to drag the boat off the rocks and lost an extra 50,000 tons of oil. Because the UK was totally unprepared for this, they had to get the military involved to try and sort the situation out. The military came to the decision to set fire to the remaining oil using aerial bombing and eventually napalm. The oil covered 270 square miles of the sea, killing many thousands of seabirds and polluting hundreds of miles of coastline around Cornwall and France. While the Torrey Canyon left a devastating environmental impact, it resulted in the UK becoming a world leader in pollution response. After the Torrey Canyon, the UK realised they needed to create some new laws and regulations. One of the plans put into place was the National Contingency Plan. The purpose of this plan is to ensure that there is a timely and measured and effective response to a maritime incident. The owners and masters of the ships and the operators of the offshore installations being the primary responsibility for ensuring that they do not pollute the sea. The National Contingency Plan sets out the circumstances in which the MCA deploys the UK's national assets to respond to a maritime pollution incident. The National Contingency Plan consists of four main areas: search and rescue, salvage, clean-up at sea, and clean-up of the shoreline. The United Kingdom is part of UNCLOS, which stands for the United Nations Convention on the Laws of the Sea. As they are part of UNCLOS, the UK has an obligation to protect and preserve the marine environment. This plan is to make sure that the UK meets the measures needed for their obligation. After saving human life, the key purpose of UNCLOS is to respond to marine incidents to protect human health and the marine terrestrial environment. We now have a single government agency, which is the Maritime and Coastguard Agency, to address all aspects of marine regulations and incident responses. The MCA have structured incidents into three phases: prevention, immediate response, and long-term response. To ensure the MCA can prevent pollution, they have set up a few regulations, such as more effective regulations of shipping. They can also maintain a 24-hour readiness for a response, and they can also coordinate a response with the RNLI, police, military, and SAR. In the late 1960s, there was concern for the environment and pollution caused by the Torrey Canyon. After the Torrey Canyon, the government started bringing in legislation that gave them powers to intervene when they felt there was a danger of pollution. Governments assumed the right and responsibility to take control of casualty response and operations to reduce pollution. This is when they introduced a SOSREP. The SOSREP is the Secretary of State's representative for purposes of marine and salvage and intervention. There is only one SOSREP in the UK, and his name is Hugh Shaw. The SOSREP gets the say on everything to do with marine salvage. The SOSREP has the power to direct a person to take or not to take any action of any kind. The SOSREP's powers extend to the UK territorial waters, which is 12 nautical miles from the coast. The SOSREP's key roles are acting at the earliest point during a shipping or offshore to assess the risk of safety, monitoring all response measures up to significant incidents involving shipping and the offshore industry, participating in major national and international exercises, and reviewing all activities after significant incidents and exercises. The sales rep decides whether the salvage has the capabilities to carry out the necessary salvage actions in terms of experience, personnel, and material. The sales rep also decides whether it is necessary to set up an SCU. An SCU is a salvage control unit, and in these SCUs there are marine response, shoreline response, and environmental group to help out and assess these situations. Two pollution response agencies are the RSPCA and the European Maritime Safety Agency. The RSPCA respond to help the wildlife which have been affected by the oil spill, such as the birds. When the birds are covered in oil, they are no longer able to fly afloat, so the RSPCA take them away and treat them, and then release them into a safe environment where they will not be harmed again. The European Maritime Safety Agency's aims is to provide member states with technical and scientific assistance in the field of accidental or deliberate pollution by ships.